Welcome to the Freedom from Overweight program. Harry Moore, founder of the Freedom from Overweight program. Freedom from Overweight program is a self-help program. Harry is not a licensed medical professional, nor is Harry a licensed dietitian professional. Harry is highly experienced and very good at helping people manage their weight. Harry reserves the right to be wrong. Harry also reserves the right to be right.
Hi everyone, Harry Moore here. I decided to do this video. I called it Freedom on the 4th of July week. 4th of July is all about freedom. And certainly I was born in America, been raised in America, been in Canada, been in Mexico, but basically I lived in America. So all I know is freedom. But the freedom I'm talking about today is freedom from addiction. Now, 4th of July has always been one of my favorite holidays. My favorite, of course, is Christmas, followed by Easter, but 4th of July was always my favorite, even as a kid growing up. I remember, now we didn't have any big fireworks display. I grew up in Dover, Kentucky, little town, 350 people. We sure had a lot of fireworks, sparklers, as we got on, we had cherry bombs and other things like that. I forget the names of them, but it was a lot of fun. I certainly enjoyed the barbecue that we have with neighbors. I don't really remember a lot of overeating. Really don't remember any special desserts for the 4th. And I really don't remember the adults over drinking and getting drunk during the time. It seems to me that my memories are very pleasant of the 4th of July, and I really enjoy that. Now let's talk about the one this year. The silly about these holidays like, the 4th and Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. But they rotate from year to year. Well, this year we have a rare 4-day holiday on the 4th. Now, also I want to talk about the whole season we're in now. Now, I realize that probably between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day for most of us, I'm an emotional overeater. So that can be one of my most challenging times because there are a lot of social events and they're usually more formal events than we have during the year. And special foods that people only make during Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I can do a video on that one later. But, during the summer, we might not think about it. But there is a different holiday season now. I mean, it's time, kids are all from school, teachers are all from school. Except they're probably working on their advanced degrees right now, so they might rather be in school. But, most people take vacations during the summer. Now, there's 6 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas, approximately most years. But you know what? In Cincinnati, at least, our summer officially starts on June the 21st, which this year was a Friday. And, officially it did. It'll end on September the 23rd, which is a Wednesday. But really, in summer, I think most of us think of summer starting on Memorial Day to Labor Day, which again is 12 weeks instead of 6 weeks. Now, granted, during that time, there's less formal affairs, maybe weddings, if you go to a fancy wedding, and usually not as many special foods. But there probably is a lot more events, just the fact that if the weather's better, we like to be outside. People are more likely to call it and say, hey, I'm barbecuing, come over and join us. And it's something may not do. But there can be some special foods that we like during the summer. Now, I'm going to preach this video as if your addiction is the same as mine, and that's being an emotional overeater. Although, really, this will apply if you have a drinking problem. Now, fortunately, I haven't had anything to drink for 30 years. I did have a problem, but honestly, I didn't enjoy the taste. I didn't enjoy doing it, and I didn't like myself when I was doing it. So that one was pretty easy for me to quit doing. But just quit drinking didn't solve my problem of not being comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what all addictions are about, really. Now, granted, we live in America, and the great thing about America is you don't ever have to be uncomfortable. In fact, look at every commercial you ever see on TV or hear on radio. It's about you not having to be uncomfortable. Hey, it's hot out there today. It's 90 some degrees, but you can be cool as a cucumber inside your home with our air conditioning system. Oh, about 6 months ago, oh, it's really cold outside. You don't need to be cold. You can use our heater or furnace, and so on and so forth. And there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate the fact that we can live in comfort. But emotionally, sometimes we do need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. But let's look at some of the upcoming challenges that we face during this time of year. Again, cooking out. Now, would that be a challenge for you? And it could be because there always, I mean, let's face it, any event we go to, there's more food than anybody can eat. There may also be food pushers. Now, usually I find if people are food pushers, it's because they get their identity from cooking. In fact, they may have the same problem as we do, and we may not see it or may not see them doing it. But let's try some advice for this, for for making it more enjoyable to do. And first, I think we want to look at how do we figure out how challenging an event may be. Well, here's one thought: if you would look at your event and say, oh, let's say you're not hungry and there's not going to be any food there, uh, and there's not going to be any alcohol there, just water and people in the event. How much enjoyment would you get from that event alone? And use a scale of 1 being low, 100 being high. Again, you're not hungry, so you don't have a need for food. There's no food there. How much enjoyment would you get from that event? From low, 1 being low and 100 being high. Now, here's my guidelines of what I've found out. If I do that experiment or that exercise and my score comes 70 or higher, it's probably not going to be much a challenge for me to choose not to overeat. But you know what? If it's below 70, now I'm in that danger zone, and even more lower that get. Sometimes I may attend an event that's 30 or 40. I hardly ever been the one that's below that. That's where I might fall in trouble. Now, what I do is I think, why am I here? I don't have to go. There's very few events I have to go to. Uh, and a lot of times you can get there, it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be, but let's say it is, and you're there for somebody else. Then you say, I'm going to get 30 points of pleasure because I know it's important to this other person, and this other person is important to me. So you can really talk yourself up to make it a 70. That might help out. One of the guidelines I use when I go to any social events, the first my crash and burn time used to be the first 30 minutes. That's when I was uncomfortable because I might not know everybody in the room, might not know what's going on in everybody's life. So what I did to take care of that, I worked the room. I always had been a room worker, but you know what? People love to talk about themselves. Now, they may not ask you anything about you, but they do like to talk about themselves. So probably at least the first 30 minutes, I go around and meet people, say hi to everybody, if I don't know somebody, I'll ask them what they do or where they're from. They're in Cincinnati, I'll ask them what high school they went to because that's what you do when you live in Cincinnati. And just get to know people. Also, I am looking to see what foods are around. Now, if it's something that's at every party and it's not that important to me, that's not going to be a problem. I'm looking for something special. And then after that 30 minutes, I'll say, what's the minimum amount of that food I need not to be a martyr? Now, I don't know if you've ever had any professional martyrs in your life. I have had several in my life are professional martyrs. And what I've learned about professional martyrs are one, they're always right, and two, they're never happy. I don't really care if I'm wrong, but I do care if I'm not happy. So what's something I really want to enjoy to have this special, and what's the minimum of each item I need not to be a martyr? Then the other thing about the longer you're at an event, the more challenging it would be. I had a member years ago who her family got together every Sunday. And it was a big family, and they were there a long time. They ate a lot, and she worked really hard Monday through Saturday, but it didn't matter because she crashed and burned on Sunday. And so we're talking about approach to make it easier for you to attend events because, I don't want you to isolate yourself. I mean, if you lock yourself up in a closet, you're not creating a lifestyle there. You're not learning anything there. And I asked her, well, what's the latest you can get there and not be rude, and what's the earliest you can leave? She said, oh no, I had to be the first one there and the last one to leave. I said, even when it's not at your house? She said, oh yeah. I said, well, why is that? I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. She said, because they might talk about me. I thought that's an interesting answer. And I said, well, do any of them have phones? Well, sure, Harry, they all have phones. Then if they want to talk about you, they're going to talk about you. It's just that simple. So something as simple as that made it a lot easier to not feel like she had to be there all the time. So also, another approach is, suppose it's not you with the problem. Suppose it's somebody else, someone else you care about, and they come to you and they say, hey, I'm an emotional overeater or overdrinker, overspending or whatever, and I'm really worried about this event. It's probably going to be challenging for me. Can you support me in this? And probably if you care about that person, it'd be yes. And you might want to suggest, well, how about if I bring something that fits in what you can have and control? Oh, that'd be really nice. So really, I mean, I bring food to stuff all the time if I'm not sure the stuff that I can enjoy having will be there. And also, I've been to events. I was invited to. I used to teach at Walnut Hills years ago, and one of the classes I was close to several of the members in the class, and they invited me to a reunion, and I thought that'd be great. And it was open buffet. Well, I ate before I got there. I got there, said hi to people I want to say to. I even though they said, "Hey, Harry, go ahead and get something to eat." Well, I didn't even look at what was there because I wasn't hungry. And then once I felt, well, I said hi and I heard all the stories. I want to hear them. I met some classmates I didn't know before. That was nice. And then I left, and then I enjoyed it. I wasn't a martyr. Oh, I can't have that. And it wasn't that I couldn't have anything. I just wasn't anything there worth gaining weight from. And really, on a score from 0 to 100, it was really about a 95. So that was a great time, and it didn't involve me being an emotional reader. So just think about it. A life is a learning experience. I do want to close on my favorite 4th of July story. Like I said earlier, I really love 4th of July, and we were having my parents were having a cookout, one of them, and I was probably about 6 or 7 at the time. I asked my mom and said, because she was from England, I said, what'd you guys do for 4th of July? And she very calmly and plainly said, we didn't celebrate the 4th. And I thought, why not? It's a great holiday. She goes, we lost. Well, that's true. See, but it didn't bother her that we won. She enjoyed being in America. So why don't we lose some of our excuses during this holiday and just treat it as a learning experiment? That's all. If you do anything a little bit better or you didn't do it as bad as you normally do it, then you're ahead of the game. Because you know what? This isn't our last holiday. Labor Day is going to come very shortly, and then after that you got Halloween. Then we get into the Thanksgiving to New Year's Day stuff, and then later on there's Easter, and But it all can be a learning experience. I hope you enjoy watching this video, and hope to see and hear from everybody soon. If you have other suggestions on informational videos I could do like this, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.
Harry would really appreciate your honest feedback regarding this video, or any other videos you may have watched, plus any suggestions you may have for future videos. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact Harry at harry@freedomfromoverweight.org.